And you pick them right on back up, right once you done laid them down. So you keep running into the same situation, Everybody ever been on an airplane? Or know anything about the airport? You know about the baggage claims where you take the bags, drop the bags off so you can get on the airplane? Well, that's what I feel God is. He is standing at the baggage claim, waiting for you to drop off your bags. And once you drop, see God, let me show you. This is my example. Here go the blessing. God got this blessing for you. Okay. I want you to receive this blessing. God, this is 100,000 million trillion.
Drop the bags.
That ain't even no real number, but I'm just saying. Can you take it?
She can't take it.
Why she can't take it?
Her hands full.
It's full.
Exactly.
She cannot receive the blessing because she got too much baggage. She got too
Put it in the
much
bag.
junk. She gotta release the Jesus. Release it.
Drop the bag.
What happens when you release? How you feel when you release it?
Lightweight.
You feel lighter. And what are you able to do once you release it? Receive the blessing. You are able to
now you can get the bags back.
because you're gonna release the baggage. Yeah. And that's what it's all about. Just casting your cares to God. Praying about it. Sometimes you just have to talk to God like I'm talking to you. You might not know how to pray. Like in what they say, how you pray, you know. You might just have to talk to him like, hey God, you know, I don't understand. I don't know why I'm dealing with this. I don't want to be dealing with this. I need your help. What you have to understand is if you are honest with God, he can help you, boy. God already knows your thoughts. He already knows your actions, what you finna do, when you finna do it. You might as well, why would you lie to him? He's the one who created you. You know? You got to be honest with God and let him know that you acknowledging him and who he is and that he is the one who can help you. He's the only one that can help you. I can't help you. Not like he can. I can't get rid of your pains and your hurts. Only he can. But you have to trust him. And you have to obey his word. You have to get into the word of God and you have to read it. Not only read it, you have to apply it to your life. It's not until you apply it to your life that it's going to manifest. Right. You can read, I can read that Bible all day. I can read this notebook all day, all the notes in it. That's some good word. That's like having a table, a buffet. You got all your favorite foods on there. And you sitting over there, and it's like, yeah, they got some free food over there. Yeah, go, and you just walking by the table. Oh, that's some good food. And you hungry, you ain't eating 3 days. Oh, that's some good food. That's some real good food. The food is free, it's right there. Where you want to go and eat from?
Jesus.
That's what it's like when you don't take the word of God and apply it to your life. You just starving yourself. You're finna have malnutrition of the spirit. Because you're not feeding your soul. You're not feeding your spirit with the word of God, and that's what's going to keep you and that's what's going to sustain you. I wanted to talk to you also about 3 types of relationships. We have a purposeful relationship, and that is a person that comes into your life only for a season. And that's it. And a lot of times we get in situations and we hurt ourselves because we use purposeful people for lifelong people, and we get them mixed up. And then that's where hurt and frustration and confusion and bitterness come in, because these people who was just coming, were supposed to come into our life for just one purpose or a couple of purposes, and then that's it. They completed their mission, they need to move on. That's what a purposeful relationship. We have a life-giving relationship. That relationship is, you know how some people, maybe if you've been married or been in a long relationship and it didn't work out, and you're like, I wonder if I still got it. So you go out, meet somebody, hey, I still got it. That's what that relationship is for. I still got it. I can do this thing. I can get me somebody, you know, I still got it. That's what the life giving, it done gave life to you, so you done boosted your self-esteem, your confidence. The last one is a lifetime relationship. Whether it be a friendship or a spouse. Either they gonna marry me or I'm gonna marry them. meaning we in this thing for the long haul.
Come on now.
We here to support each other through thick and through thin. If you fall, I'ma catch you. I fall, you catch me. I got your back, you got my back. We down like 4 flat tires, basically what we saying. That is a lifetime relationship. Every relationship comes with a lesson. The key is, what lesson did you learn from the relationship? And will you take what you learned from the relationship over into the next relationship? Not saying that you're going to hold what the person did to you against the next person, but it taught you something. You grew, you matured. Because it's like the baby learning how to walk. Once they crawling, they scoot first, then they crawl, then they start walking. Well, while they're trying to start walking, a couple of times, they fall down. And they, sit down, they cry a little bit, but they get back up. And each time they do it a little bit longer until they get the hang of it. So it's a process. It's a process. Just because, this is one of my biggest keys. Just because you forgive the people that may have hurt you, stabbed you in the back, criticized you, talked about you, scandalized your name, just because you forgive them, because you gotta forgive. You're not forgiving for them, you're forgiving for you. That's so that you move on with your life. Once you forgive, that does not mean that you have to go back into that toxic relationship. You can come out of it, you get it right with them, whether you was wrong or not, because I done had to apologize a lot of times and I wasn't even the one wrong. Recently, I was in a situation, and I was at work, and God deal with me a lot at work because I'm in the office by myself. And he said, you need to call so-and-so and apologize. I said, That's Jimmy. That's what I said, for what? I didn't do nothing wrong. And I text Stephanie. I said, girl, God just told me I need to apologize to so-and-so. And she said, what you waiting on? I said, because I didn't do nothing wrong. She said, you ain't always got to be the one who done did something wrong. And after I text her, that God spoke to me at 7 o'clock that morning. I didn't call that person about 3 or 4 o'clock because I was fighting with that thing for the whole day. And around 12, God spoke to me and told me, he said, this apology is not for the other person, it is for you.
Come on now.
And I was like, well, for me, I couldn't understand that at the moment. But once I called the person and I talked to the person about the situation that had done went down, a lot of other information was revealed to me about my surrounding and my inner circle, and how I thought people that were supposed to be for me were actually against me and were contaminating me, contaminating my spirit and the ministry that God has placed inside of me. So it was contamination, but I would have never found out who these people were if I would have never followed the voice of God when he told me that I needed to apologize. But just because I apologized didn't mean that I went back into the toxic relationship. And I've had to apologize quite a few times when I went wrong, and God has strengthened me. Because I can be stuck, I can be real stubborn. I can do without you. I was breathing before you came into my life. I can breathe without you. That's how I used to feel. For real. I tell it like it is. But when you doing things for the ministry and you want to be used by God, you have to do what he tells you to do when he tells you to do it, because you never know what doors and the avenues that you walk into. I want to leave with you this. A lot of times we may feel lonely. A lot of us that are single. A lot of people that are married feel lonely. We need to understand that.
Yes.
Because sometimes people are in relationships and they don't really understand what's going on. Troubles of life. You don't never really understand it. You're like, well, why in the world? If I knew marriage was going to be like this, I would have never got married. I've heard a lot of people say that. A lot of people. I ain't never really been in no hurry to get married because I used to hear so many horror stories, But what we have to understand is loneliness is not the absence of people. It is the absence of purpose. When you discover your purpose, then the right people or person will show up in your life. We all have purpose.
That's good.
God has given us all purpose, and we have to find out what our purpose is. Sometimes it takes people longer than others, but when you surround yourself with positive people, encouraging people, people that's going to motivate you, even through your mess up, they still going to love you and encourage you. Even through your downfalls, they still going to pick you up and help encourage you and push you into your destiny. Then everything will just seem to fall into place. So I just want to leave with you. Loneliness is not the absence of people. It is the absence of purpose. Just know who you are. Find out, seek God what your purpose is, because we all have a mission. God has placed a ministry inside of a lot of us, whether we know it or not. Whether it just be cleaning up the church. Do you know how much that'll help the pastor? So that he won't have to do it? Because he got so many other, or she got so many other things that they're doing for the ministry. From the smallest thing. It can be cleaning the toilets. It can be working the parking lot. It can be anything. Doing outreach ministry. Because that's all this is just outreach. I go from different cities and I just help encourage women, empower women. Because it's so many of us are in bondage in our minds. And a lot of times, a lot of people don't know. And I mean, I can't read minds. I'm not a psychic, so I don't know what you're going through. But I can only tell you what I've been through and what I've come through. And I know that there is a God, because I'm telling you, I was mentally a wreck, mentally a mess, mentally had no stability in my life at all. But you wouldn't know, you wouldn't know that, because I was one of them designer bags. I really was. Well, it was a time when I wasn't a designer bag.